Hello. Welcome to Premier Football Chat. I'm just going to drop a review on the game between Crystal Palace and Newcastle United. So the game's just finished 0-0. So yeah, Newcastle were on the front foot for the most part of the game, and they were trying to attack down Palace's right hand side, and they were causing the right back Joe Ward quite a few problems throughout the game, especially Joe Willock and Joe Linton. And yeah, they had the best chance in the first half, as those two combined, and Joe Linton had a shot, but it was a tame effort and it went straight down the middle to Gaita, who was able to save it. But Joe Linton should have just hit that with a bit more conviction, and yeah, he probably would have put Newcastle 1-0 up. But yeah, he's a very good player in it. But in terms of his finishing and his goal scoring, it's not the best, to be honest. But he has scored a few recently, and he's a valuable player to their team. So yeah, it was a Newcastle really trying to press for the goal in the first half, and Palace got a bit better in the second half. They lost Wilfried Zaha, who seemed to look to have a hamstring injury. He tried to carry on, but he wasn't able to. But they made a few substitutions with the likes of Elise and Mateta coming on, and they sort of got a little bit better in the second half. And it was Edouard and Mateta who created their best chance. And yeah, Edouard was battling for the ball, and then it managed to break to Mateta, and he had a shot, and it was a stunning save from Nick Pope. And Gary Southgate was watching on as well, so hopefully he's taking notes and he looks at that and thinks he could potentially start for England, because I think for me, I'd rather see Pope and Aaron Ramsdale, one of those two, start over Pickford for me personally. So yeah, that was the big chance for Palace, and probably the best chance in the game overall. Newcastle had a few chances themselves in the second half. Callum Wilson had a free header in the box and should have done better with that. And also down the right hand side, it was Kieran Trippier and Almiron. So Almiron played through Kieran Trippier, and then he crossed the ball in. It was a lovely cross, and Isak, who came on in the second half, had the header, but he wasn't able to guide it into the goal. He managed to get it on target, but it was a bit too high, the cross for him. And also in the second half, Newcastle had a chance. It was Murphy who played the ball into the box, and yeah, the ball brought to Saint-Maximin, but he wasn't able to score. He managed to take a touch, but it was quite a heavy touch, and then yeah, Palace were able to make a block. And for me, I thought the defences had a really good game. So Ben Botman for Newcastle, I think that's his 18th game in the Premier League, and he's still yet to lose a game. So yeah, so you can see that he's added value to Newcastle. And for Crystal Palace, Guy got booked in the 4th minute, so he had to defend for the rest of the game on a yellow card, and I thought he was outstanding. So yeah, he's a really good player as well. So going on into the future for these two teams, we've got some big games coming up. So yeah, Palace have to play Man United again at Old Trafford in February, and they've got upcoming games against Brighton, which is a big game. It's a bit of a derby between those two. And they've also got the likes of Man City and Liverpool coming up. And for Newcastle, they've got one of their biggest games in recent history, as they take on Southampton away on Tuesday in the Carabao Cup semi-final, first leg. So yeah, Palace will be happy with a point, I reckon, because they're in the middle of a tough run. They've recently just played Man United and managed to get a point in that game, and it's something to build on for them. And they'll be hoping to not get sucked into the relegation battle. So yeah, I think they could get sucked into it though, personally, because they've got some big fixtures coming up. So it'll be interesting to see how they do. And yeah, and they just need to get the foot on the ball and start playing a bit more. But obviously these two games were quite hard, so even though they were at Selhurst Park, they were basically playing like an away team. So they'll be looking to create more opportunities and hoping that Saha's injury isn't too serious. And yeah, it'd be good for them to sign, because I feel like for them going forwards, I think Edouard needs to start doing a bit more and scoring again, because when he first came from Celtic, he managed to play really well and got a couple of goals, I remember, against Tottenham. And yeah, so I feel like they could look into the Championship and see what's there in terms of signing attacking players. Like they've got that Victor Gyökeres for Coventry City, who's having a good season, so they could look at him potentially. But there's no, that's just my personal feelings. There's no rumours about that going on in the transfer market. But yeah, they'll be happy with getting 2 points and remaining unbeaten against Man United and Newcastle. And yeah, Newcastle will be a bit disappointed not to have got all three today. But yeah, they still keeps their unbeaten run and they still kept another clean sheet to add to their clean sheets this season. They've got the best clean sheet record and least amount of goals conceded, and also the highest save percentage as well from a keeper in Nick Pope. So yeah, that's my review of the game between Crystal Palace and Newcastle. Thank you for watching.